I'm sitting down in front of a camera in my car because I saw the movie The Shack last night, and it stirred up some things inside of me that I really wanted to just get out, and so I figured what better way than to talk to my camera. I read the book for The Shack my last semester at Belmont, and even when I read the book, I had tons of questions, and it made me think a lot. But now seeing the movie, not only did it bring those questions back up and thoughts back up, but I think even more intensely. I think I relate a lot to the main character, Mac, because he's very honest throughout the whole movie, and he's not afraid to ask hard questions. And I've always said that the hardest part for me about having a relationship with God is that you can't physically sit down with him and talk face to face, back and forth. I ask a question, he answers. I share a story, he comments on it. I don't get that. It's so hard to talk to someone who's not talking back, or trust in someone who you've never seen. It's like strange. And in the movie, Matt gets to do exactly that, and he uses that opportunity to ask some hard questions. And I know that if I was ever given the opportunity to sit down with God, some of the questions he asks are exactly what I would want to ask. His 6-year-old daughter gets murdered, and one of the questions he asks is, why did something so evil have to happen to someone so innocent? Why does evil even happen in the world? Why does it exist? And in this scene, he's talking to the character of Wisdom, and Wisdom responds to him saying that God doesn't have control over the evil that happens, but God does have control over redeeming the evil that happens. And that's just something that I've been thinking about all day. And I think for me, the word redemption equates to the word hope. And hope plays a huge role in my life because every season of relationship that I've had with God, there have been different words that describe that season. And when I first became a Christian, sophomore year of college, that was my word, hope. And I feel like God has been circling that back around, and now, 4 years later, hope has been the theme of this season of my life. And I think hearing that in the movie, of that, yes, evil exists, but it will be redeemed. There is hope. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, was very encouraging to hear during this season of my life, because I feel like it's just been thing after thing after thing that's been happening, and it doesn't make sense. And no matter how obedient I am to answering God's call or doing the right thing, or it just doesn't make sense. And it was a good reminder that there is hope. Everything will be redeemed. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but eventually it will be redeemed. And I've even been reading a book that just mentioned how it's so hard for us to see God within things in front of our face. But when we look back at things, we're so easily able to see how God worked within that situation. And why is it that we can't see it in the present, but we can see it looking at the past? I don't know, that's just something to think about. I just think at the end of the day, if Mac's story is a true story, I am the most jealous that he physically got to speak to God. But I'm happy that he asked the questions that he did, because it was encouraging to hear those answers. Yeah, so I appreciate it if you listened to the end of the video. Subscribe. Just kidding. This is on Facebook. You can't do that on Facebook. 50,000 likes, and I'll do a part 2. Just kidding. I've been reading and hearing and learning a lot that our job is to share who he is, and I just really struggle with that. I think I believe in him just as much as everyone else, but I'm quiet about it, and that's not doing any good. That's not helping change the world by being quiet about it.